YouTube, welcome to Beauty in the Empty Nest. Today I just want to show you another way for making your thumbnails, and it doesn't involve any kind of online programs or anything that you typically have to buy. You probably already have the software on your computer, and it's using PowerPoint. So what I'm going to do is record the process of doing that, creating some thumbnails. And again, you can insert photos that you've kind of manipulated in other programs, and you can also manipulate some photos inside PowerPoint too, and I'm going to show you some of those so that you'll be able to create thumbnails that look like some of these varieties that I have up on the screen right now. Again, I'm still playing around with different ways of doing it, but I just thought this was fun. Most of us all have PowerPoint, and here's another way to just be able to quickly, well, semi-quickly create some thumbnails, and sometimes also fun to do something a little bit different with it too. So I hope this is helpful for you. Keep watching. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through PowerPoint to show you how to make thumbnails from slides created in PowerPoint and then just saved as pictures. So you can do a couple different approaches. So for example, this one is just a little background, and then on top of that I have an image that I kind of tinkered around a little bit, again within PowerPoint, and then just embedded a type of text box on top. Here's one again, a background image that then I just put other images, again, that I all played around with in PowerPoint. Here's just a plain kind of boring one. It's just a theme from within PowerPoint that I just added text. I think it's kind of boring. Here's another one. And again, I want to show you hopefully how to at least start exploring PowerPoint to do some of these different types of images with backgrounds. I find that it really can do just as much as some of the other photo editing things, such as I love Pixlr.com. So again, here's another one, upper left-hand corner. That was my before my haircut picture, and lower right-hand corner. It's just that same image that I played around with and doing different kind of layers on it. I'll make sure that I'll show you how to do that, and then just put another text on top of it. Kind of fun and cool. And another one, this one does not just have, I created my own background from this, from snippets of the photo. So I'll show you how I did that too, because again, it's really fun and creative. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to play around. I want to show you again how you can kind of put something like this together, and then I'll also show you how we can put this together. So let's get going. Okay, so I just opened up PowerPoint as a new presentation, and typically you might first open up to that kind of themes template view, which I always hate, so I X out of that so I don't have that return all the time. But this is just the blank starting, which shows you like a title slide. Again, these, PowerPoint slides for presentations. But again, like I said, you can save these as pictures, and I'll kind of walk you through how to do that because it could be a little confusing. Again, this is PowerPoint for Mac. If you're using it on a PC, it might look a little different. You still can get it everything though that you need. So here we go, starting out right here. Let me show you first of all, up at the top here, here's the different themes. So for example, you can pull up some of these themes and go away and play around with them too. Here's the one that I used for that really boring one about life interrupted. Yay, exciting surgery I talk about. I actually haven't posted that video yet. I'm not sure if I'm going to. So again, these are all different themes, and you can certainly use any of these. Let me show you also, before we branch off into the next part, you can use this just the way it is and add whatever you want. You could put an image right here, or you could change the color. Okay, so here's different colors. So here we go, different color patterns. Okay. Or if none of those really do what you want, I'm going to go backwards to the beginning because I actually kind of like that and I want to play with that just a tiny bit. Suppose you like this, but there's something that bothers you. Like, I don't like that plus sign there. If you go into a view, which is usually on the main big top menu, go to Master and Slide Master, you'll open up all the types of different layouts. I want to use the title slide, so I'm going to click on that. Now I said I don't like that plus. When you are in this window, you can move things and change them. So I just clicked on the big box here. I can move that down here. Okay, I could change the color of it. I could put it over here, and then look how it went behind. I could actually then make it go ahead and on top. Okay, I'm going to move it back to where it was there. And the reason I'm going to back here is I want to get to this plus sign. I do not like that. Okay, to me, why is it there? So I'm gonna delete it. I selected it and then deleted it. Okay, and then I'm gonna move this up here because maybe I'm gonna insert some different images. Okay, so maybe I'm gonna put this up here, and let's see. I'm gonna get rid of this one and get rid of this one. And this one I want to make a little bit larger. And again, remember what I'm doing now is I'm making these changes in the master template, which is you don't have to do it this way. You can just create this all on your own. But maybe that's not what I really want to do. I want to have a consistent one, or I like this theme, but there's something bothering me about it. Okay, so I'm going to put this here, and I'm just making this a little bit different looking. Okay, I'm also going to copy this and paste it, and I want to put this also behind this other one. For some reason I just like these layers of colors. Okay, now when I did that, look what happened. It went in the front. If you right click on that image, you're going to scroll down or thumb down about to the middle of this menu. You see the arrange? Go ahead and put send to back, and just like magic. You see how you can really be creative with all this? Now I don't really like this here and right here, so I'm going to move this into the middle. Okay, I never use these date things, so I'm just going to get rid of these. Again, I'm getting ready to make this into my thumbnail picture. Okay, and I want things to be centered, so I just clicked on this box, and I like to do Control E, or on a Mac it's Command E to put everything in the center. And maybe I don't like this font. I'm going to change it from here. I'm going to click that, and I'm going to go ahead and let's see, what kind of font maybe do we like? I'm just going to be kind of random here, and I'm going to go ahead and pick this Geneva. Okay, and then just because I like to be consistent, and I know right now that in this box here I'm probably going to put my channel title, and I always tend to use this Apple Chancery, and again I'm using a Command or Control E because I want it nicely in the middle. Okay, now the last thing is I don't like this quite juxtaposed down there. I'm going to move it up here, and you notice how I selected all of it. Okay, now again, you can really get creative and add this, but I want to keep this simple because right now, if this can be simple, I'm going to close the master. Okay, now what I want to do is just show you a quick couple little things. So let's say this is going to be, I can't think what I titled that. It was from Bob Cut to Pixie ... I love my ... chopping the hair, exclamation point, of course. Down the bottom here, Beauty in the Empty Nest. I'm going to change the color of that because it's a little bit low key. But you know what? For right now I'm going to leave that, and I'll show you what we can also do. Now what I plan to do is go ahead and put an image inside this box. So I'm going to go ahead and insert that image, and you can do it a couple different ways. You can go here and insert photo, picture from file. Okay, and I saved it on my desktop just to be easy. Here's that headshot one, and hit insert. And it's going to come out huge. I do not want it that huge. I'm going to get to about the size I want it to be to fit within this box. Okay, you see that there? Now I want to also play with this just a tiny bit. You see how I clicked on it and right up the format photo came up here? This is where you can do a lot of different things. I don't always get too into this. I tend to really like this one right here, which is kind of the faded edges. So I'm clicking on that. Okay? Now, you remember how I had the other image in the other box that was kind of a funny look to it? To get that there, I'm going to again click on this, and I'm going to copy it. Again, you can do a Control C, a Command C, or let me just show you the other long way. Copy. Here. And now you can do Control V or Command V to paste it. I'm going to start moving it over here, and obviously it has to be much smaller because I want to fit in this other box here. And yes, move here. I hate how it does that nowadays. Can make it just a tiny bit bigger. Okay, now we want to play with this. So we pulled this up, and you can go to Format Picture. See how I clicked on the picture? And now you can see there's effects here. You can play with those, but my favorite thing to do is to go over here and look at these filters. You can do a whole bunch of different kind of ways of looking at this. See how it's all pulling up there? You can also right click on that photo and it'll pull up a menu as well too. Here's also different ways to recolor it. Here's different ways to correct for it. And then here's the crop if you need to make it smaller. Okay, so I'm going to go back to filters because that's what I did for this one. And I believe I used this one right here, which was the glass look. But look, I'll go through some of these and you can kind of see, that was actually probably the one I used there. Do you see how it changed that little picture there? Let me try another one just so you can kind of see it. This is kind of really cool, especially there'll be times when you probably want to do something like this. All right, let's do something really drastic. Look at this one. Ooh. Okay, I'm going to hit Control Z because that was the one we did. Okay, so you see how I'm playing with these images within PowerPoint. Everyone probably has PowerPoint. Okay, and then you're not dealing with Wi-Fi connections, which sometimes I know, like when I used PicMonkey, I haven't had much issue with Pixlr.com, but when I've used PicMonkey, sometimes the wireless is a problem. So now remember again, I also put a question mark. So I'm going to click on this text box. I'm back at the home menu. Click on the text box, say text box. Drag it. Right now, don't worry about the size. I'm just going to put a question mark. Okay. Now, I'm going to highlight that. And you can go ahead and you can change the font. Right now, I'm not going to worry about that so much. But I'm going to click over here to make it much larger. You can also do the pull down menu. Okay. Now, I can either hit center here. And you see how that went on there? And let's make it a purple color. I'm actually starting to like this one more than the one I used. Oh, that's not good purple. That's not in the right family. There we go. See, isn't that cool how you've done this in PowerPoint? Now, one last thing here. What happens if this background is really boring to you? You want something a little bit different. You can right click, format background, or also go through the other menus. And you can fill it with a solid, a gradient, picture, texture, or some type of a pattern. Let's go back and let's say I'm going to do a gradient, and we're going to do, let's see, radial, and now you can add your different colors. Okay, so right now I'm going to put a deeper purple on the one stop, and I'm going to move this here a little bit. What I really just encourage you to do is play, play, play. Because you see how many different things I've kind of done here? Apply. Now this color here, I have to change the font color. So I clicked on it. I'm just going to make it into a nice white. Okay. This isn't quite showing up. Here's another little trick. This one's not quite showing up very nicely. Here's the text. I'm going to change the color behind the text. Go up to this fill button, and I'm going to make it all more of that darker purple. Okay. And I just want it to be a solidish color. No, that's not. I do like the other one I picked better. But the other thing is, I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. I want it to be a little more what they call transparent, so it's not just a block. So I'm going to go back up here, go up to Fill Effects, and it opens up to this transparency. As I slide this along, you'll see that it changes, so it won't look as box-like on there. So I just put this at 65%. That helps your text show up, especially when you're going across a continuum of different colors. Okay. So if I wanted to save this one now, I would go right up here, File. You might want to save it as a PowerPoint too, and go ahead and do that first. And then up to File, you see Save as Pictures. Go ahead and click on that. I typically don't worry about renaming this right now, and I'll show you why. And typically I will save this on my desktop. You can save it wherever you want, but there's a couple little things you want to do quickly after here that just make it easier, I think, on the desktop. So I'm just saving it to Presentation 20. You see JPEG is picked. I'm going to hit Save onto my desktop. Okay, and it comes up and it says that each slide of your presentation is saved as a photo. So if you had several slides, they all be saved as separate photos. Click the OK. And when I minimize this, I'm going to find over here Presentation 20. Gonna click it open. There's my slide. Right now, I'm gonna click on it twice until I get that light blue text. And here I can now rename it on there. Click. Now I'm going to drag it onto my desktop, close this down, get rid of this extra folder because I do not need it anymore. So I'm going to move it to the trash. Oh, you like my baby? That's baby Malibu. She's now 13 months. You've probably seen her in some of our videos too. She was walking close to a candle the other day in a video that she really loves. But anyway, I digress. Now it's here. You can copy and move it to whatever you want. I love using Dropbox. Everything goes right onto my Dropbox folder there. But there it is. Okay? Now let me show you the other really fun one that I thought. I want to go back and show you how to create this one. Okay, so again, I'm going to pull up a new presentation. Okay, and for this one, I like to create my own backdrop. So I'm going to just start with a blank one because I just went up to layout and clicked blank. I don't like those boxes there. I can insert them wherever I want. Okay, or sometimes I will leave the actual layout one. So actually, let me go back. Sometimes I do leave this one. Okay, and you can move that around. So from here now, I am going to take an image. I'm going to show you a different way of taking in an image. Okay, you can drag it from your desktop and put it right in there. It's always going to come into full size. So that's great if that's what you want to work. You can just slap some text right on there, play with the image, slap some text on, and you're good to go, right? And then I also had this one. Okay, I'm going to push those down to a slightly different size. So I think in my other one I had this one up top and this one. Oh, sometimes it doesn't want to go there and stay there. Yes, I want to move it there. And this one down the bottom. Okay, so now let's do my title here. And I think this was the L'Oreal La Palette 2 in nude, and I'm going to scrunch that up because I had this up in this corner. Okay, and I think I did something like this too. Okay, again, you can really play around a lot with this. I'm going to put these all as a center as well. And again, you can go up here now and change the font and do whatever you want there. I typically do not like the one that comes up right away with all this. So I'm just going to be, again, really random. I'm not going to try and match what we had before. I'm trying to eye something. Don't want to use that one again because we just used that. Let's get down towards it. But sometimes I do that, I just scroll all the way down to the bottom. Oh, this one looks kind of cool. Oh, I like that. Noteworthy. Maybe it's not as elegant as the other font. But now this one, what I'm going to use for is my channel descriptor. And again, I always said how I typically will put that as this apple chancero. Put this down here, move this over here, make sure it's right in the center, and I'm going to put that down over here. Okay, so we're getting pretty good there. I'm going to turn this into slightly darker font because if I remember correctly, I had to do that. Now, I want a back because white is really boring. So I want a backdrop, and I saw these beautiful flowers. I thought I want to snag these. So I click on it. Again, you see all the bars around. It's every corner, and in the midsections is all those little squares right here, right? Okay, I have that. And again, we can do the command copy and then command C or control C, PC or Mac, and then we're going to paste it again. Or we can go through, so that would be a control V or a command V, or just again the old fashioned, just so everyone sees how to do this, copy, okay, and then edit, paste. Okay, I'm gonna move this away because I don't want it to get cluttered with the other. Now, I just again want to snag those flowers. So what I did was go up to the format picture and crop. And I cropped out the eye palette just to get the picture. So I crop it again, and here it is. Isn't that so pretty? So then what I did was I dragged it so that it was wide enough to cover without distorting it too much. I didn't want it to get too ugly because it's already so pretty, I think. I guess I've got a softness for flowers. Put this over just a little bit. Because like if I drag it like this, you see how it kind of gets a little distorted? Now that one looks okay. Okay, so now I moved it towards the bottom so that your slide, and I'm just using the arrows, I just want to make sure it's nicely lined up. All right, now it's doing that same thing we talked about before. It's in front of the other things. Again, you can control here and you can arrange and send it to the back. There's also this other kind of key that you can use if you go back to the home and you see I'm at the home button with the layers, the range. You pull up the layers, reorder objects, and now this can go towards the back. Okay, but I don't want to do that quite yet. What I want to do now is I have to make another one. I have to fill up the rest of the screen. So I'm doing my copy and paste, moving it up here. And then I just kind of did one of those, okay, if I make it a little bigger here and a little bigger here, and I was trying to keep them as well lined up as I could. Okay. Now what I also like to do again is always soften the edges. So I went back and did this and did that with that one, and then that meant, so I'm just using this, what is it, the 1, 2, 3, the 6th image, soft edge rectangle. I've always liked that one. I thought it looked really pretty. So I'm going to cover that up a little bit again. And now that also means with this one, I have to cover it up a little bit again. Okay, and I see how we rose up a little bit here. I'm going to, okay, I think we're looking pretty good. So again, now I can move these behind. If I move them behind too soon, I might not be able to work with them. I'm going to show you arrange, okay, send to back. Now I'm going to do the other way, so you see it the other way. Okay, home, arrange, reorder. You see this one all the way in the front? I'm going to move it to the back. It doesn't matter whether it's in front of or behind the other flower image. The idea is it's all the way in the back. And there you go. Isn't that cool? And isn't that so much fun? Oh, wait a minute. I see this image here. We want to get that all the way up again. Okay. I think we're looking good. Make this just a tiny bit. Okay. See, isn't that cool? Isn't that so much fun to do? And it's all in PowerPoint. And like I said, most people have PowerPoint. So again, now we go through the other things. Save as pictures. And I'm just saving right to my desktop. Again, you hit OK here. You can go ahead and save this PowerPoint if you want. There's no problem with that. I typically don't, which is unfortunate because sometimes I forgot. There's a couple other ones I wanted to show you, and I could not find the background. So again, I'm not going to save this right now because I don't need more clutter. So again, now I am going to open up presentation 21. I'm going to click on this, and you can also right click and you see where it says, where is it? We'll say get info or rename. It's not coming up there. There we go. You have to have the light blue. So now this is the L'Oreal eye palette. Here, drag it on the screen. Here again, I can delete this folder because there's nothing in it anymore. And here's your image. Save that as your thumbnail and you're good to go. Okay, well, I hope that was helpful for you. Let me know. Give me some feedback. Maybe there's other things that you can use as well, too. I just wanted to give you another option out there. And it's also nice because, you know, sometimes web-based programs aren't working as well. I mean, I love using, like I said, Pixlr. And it's been pretty consistent. So, but again, I hope this has been helpful. Give me comments and feedback and let me know if you want to learn a little bit more about maybe how you do some of the animations and all those other kind of fun things. So again, give me a thumbs up if you think this was helpful and give me that encouragement to keep going. Please subscribe also so that you can be part of the community. I love getting the feedback and starting these relationships, building and growing. So again, I hope this was helpful, and more importantly, I hope that you have a great, positive, productive day. Goodbye.